All right. 1, 2, 3, let's jam. We rolling? This is Freedom Phil, like, subscribe. What am I talking about? As I get older, the whole concept of being alone doesn't bother me. What's the plan? What's the anything? Some thoughts on this. As a truck driver slash nomad, no interest in living in my house. What are my thoughts on this as I get older? Because people talk about what are you going to do if you have some issue, some heart condition, or you're 60 something years old and something happens. And that is an interesting question. It really is, because, that is a reality. One, I should get in way better shape, to be honest, if I want to make it to 70 something. But I'm 45 now. But, I got to be honest about it. If it wasn't for the fact of mortality, I don't think I'd have any interest in having a tribe or any other groups of people around. I don't mind the idea of a group. It's kind of nice having some other people around occasionally, but I'm mostly a solitude-style loner. I love a good conversation, but I also love the freedom not to have to deal with a bunch of group shit. Herd thinking, because you get enough people together, eventually there's the herd think, and this shit always gets on my nerves. But yeah, I think about it from the perspective of, the only reason I care, remotely, about having other people around, which sounds kind of horribly, unless they're cool people. If they were cool people, wouldn't that be refreshing? Interesting, cool people you could play like video games with, or magic cards, or watch movies, or whatever. They also have the same van life mentality I have. You imagine having like a really good solar system and the projector, and you could just set it up and then take a sheet and put it up against the back of the RV or the side of the RV and watch movies in the middle of the desert. That'd be kind of fucking cool, wouldn't it? But or hell, even use a projector like that to watch TV. Like watch Svengoolie, old monster movies or something like that. It's cheesy, but it's funny. The only reason I remotely care about any of it is I just think it's a damn shame if a body is rotting away in a vehicle. When I'm dead, I'm dead. There's nothing to do. And the other thing is, I'll probably have a dog for most of my life. So it's one of those gigs where I look at it and think to myself, if I drop dead, somebody will be like, oh, well, looks like shit, such and such passed. Someone's knocking on the door for coffee in the morning. Oh shit, you died. And that way someone takes the dog and makes sure the dog has a good home. That's all I really care about. As far as, and you also, another reason to have a kind of a tribe at times as an outlander is if you all have kind of similar technology and stuff, you all can kind of work on each other's stuff, fix other stuff. And then if one of you don't have to, when I go into town, I basically clean everything up, unsiege, and basically go into town. It would be kind of cool just to have a situation where if we had some land, like I got my Northern Command, but if I had like Southern Command down here, yeah, we could just hop into the one vehicle. One person could just stay back at camp and keep an eye on things. And if this sounds kind of like what homeless people do, it's because it is kind of similar, because occasionally you will have some fuckos that will break into, you have a disagreement with somebody, and then some fucko comes along, nobody here to stop me, and they go and break shit, burn shit. And that almost never happens, mind you, but it is a possibility. And you know what stops that? Somebody sitting there, and then people know, yes, these people do have guns. These people have guns. So it is kind of nice when you have, I don't know, say anywhere from 2 to 3, more than 2. Like, let's just say you got a couple and another couple, and you can you just rove along, kind of make your way along through things. But it's kind of one of those gigs where, if it wasn't for the fact of mortality, I wouldn't even care about having other people around. I love a good conversation, don't get me wrong. Like when you're going through town, you have a random conversation with somebody. That's kind of cool. It's nice to have a good conversation. Thought-provoking conversation, all that. But then, inevitably, once you have people around, then it starts becoming groupthink. Even if people say, some people said, you just have to argue about everything. No. If something's not correct, if something's not right, I shouldn't have to agree with it just to keep the rest of you happy. That's a lot of the reason I don't really like being around people. Plus, most people are emotionally needy twits, if I'm being honest about this. Like, most of the problems in your life that you deal with are self-inflicted. And if you actually look at life from that and then try to eliminate, like, it's like going through your house when you're still around and just getting rid of the crap that you know you're not going to use, doesn't matter, doesn't need to be there. That way your kids don't have to deal with it. Most people are like those god-awful parents that build up a hoarding level of shit and leave it for their kids after they die. So then their kids have to deal with this nightmare amount of stuff. That's how most people are emotionally. That's how most people think. Well, everybody else in the world be fucking damned. I'm going to do what I want and leave a problem for the next generation. It's the boomer song. Me, 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 me. Aaron Clary said that earlier, and I'm like, he's spot on with that. And that's, and it's your right, by the way. It's your right to be that way. Oh, I just saw a shooting star over there. That's cool. But if you think about it for a second, you really just sit back and you're like, I don't want to deal with like what arguably, for the most part, are just overgrown children. I don't. It's just and maybe it's just a symptom of our modern society. I don't know if that makes any sense, but when I say symptom of our modern society, like in the Old West, you just had to be more well put together to survive. In World War I, the Depression, World War II, there was no time to fucking, like your little emotional problems, whatever it is. Nobody had time for that. There's people getting blown up. It really sobers you up, right? And so I think, honestly, since the end of Vietnam, we've raised kind of the seeds of the wildflower children. I heard one guy referred to as like the difference between actual thought and Reddit thought. I thought that was great. A bunch of flower sniffing people that don't understand. Sometimes you have to get your hands dirty to make a better world. Sometimes you just have to deal with things. And I find, honestly, and maybe I'm kind of a hard ass at times, kind of a laid back, happy go lucky hard ass. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that is the way I honestly am. But like I think about it, like, what are you going to do when you get old? I don't know. Hopefully I'm in between dogs at that point. If there is any in between. Or I have a tribe. I just build a tribe and then we just kind of do what we do. Or I build a routine. But, being an outlander like I am, it's not like you just go over to the cactus on yonder and have coffee, This ain't a Wile E. Coyote cartoon where you open up the side of the cactus and get out the cups of coffee. I don't know. I do know this, though. I'm going to go take my dog for a quick walk. I'm going to cook some food. Foxies are kind of running around, stalking the area. Where's the food? I'll get to it. Love having those little critters around. Take it easy.